The death of the CBDC monopoly. Hong Kong has officially shifted its digital currency strategy from a monolithic sovereign tool to a modular settlement rail designed to support private stablecoins. The Monetary Authority's Phase 2 report, finalized this April, confirms that the e-HKD will not compete with commercial tokens for retail dominance. Instead, the architecture is being retooled as a trust anchor for a multi-layered ecosystem where private and public money coexist on the same ledger. This design choice marks a departure from the retail-first approach seen in other jurisdictions, focusing instead on how central bank digital money can fix the fragmentation of the current stablecoin market. The wholesale backbone of Project Ensemble. Underpinning this Masterplan is Project Ensemble, the wholesale CBDC layer that acts as the connective tissue for interbank settlements. In the last 30 days, trial data showed that using a wholesale layer to settle tokenized deposits reduced cross-bank friction by 80% compared to legacy RTGS systems. The mechanism works by issuing a digital representation of central bank reserves that private issuers use to back their own commercial stablecoins. This effectively removes the counterparty risk typically associated with private tokens by ensuring that the final settlement happens in risk-free central bank money. This layered approach solves the liquidity trap where capital gets stuck in isolated private ecosystems. The next hurdle is how this system handles the complexity of atomic swaps, programmability, and the escrow problem. One of the most significant engineering artifacts revealed in the Phase 2 Sandbox is the implementation of programmable escrow for high-value transactions. Unlike traditional smart contracts that often rely on third-party oracles, the e-HKD pilot tested native on-chain triggers for property payments and trade finance. By embedding logic directly into the currency, the HKMA demonstrated that funds can be locked and released automatically based on real-world delivery milestones. This removes the need for traditional intermediary banks to manually verify documents, which currently adds days to the settlement cycle. However, the design trade-off here is the increased computational load on the ledger, which raises questions about the scalability of complex conditional payments. The stablecoin sandbox friction. The integration of private issuers like JD.com and Harvest Global into the HKMA sandbox has exposed a critical friction point in the e-HKD design. While the technology facilitates near-instant settlement, the regulatory overhead for private issuers remains high. Each issuer must maintain a 1-to-1 reserve ratio held in segregated accounts, which the e-HKD wholesale layer monitors in real time. This creates a transparent but restrictive environment that prevents the kind of algorithmic experimentation seen in decentralized finance. For the HKMA, this is a feature, not a bug, as it prioritizes systemic stability over the rapid growth of private credit. This tension between innovation and control will define the upcoming mainnet rollout. The signal under the noise. The e-HKD Masterplan reveals that the endgame for Hong Kong is not a digital version of the physical dollar, but a standardized API for global liquidity. By synthesizing the wholesale efficiency of Project Ensemble with the programmability of retail e-HKD, the HKMA is building a blueprint where the central bank provides the security and private players provide the utility. For developers and fund analysts, this means the focus shifts from speculative token trading to building the middleware that connects these regulated rails to global decentralized networks. The real implication is the eventual obsolescence of the siloed banking app in favor of a unified digital asset wallet. Watch the upcoming launch of the Sandbox interoperability protocol in June as the first indicator of how these public and private ledgers will finally communicate across borders. Subscribe for more.